ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ප්‍රථම වරට SLT 4G වෙතින් දැන් Pure TV නරඹන්න. ඉදිරියටම ගෙන යන SLT 4G.
ලෙන්ගතුකම වැඩි කරගන්න ලව්ජු රුපියල් 50ට අඩු කළා.
මාමේ එන්න අපිට එකක් බොමු.
Tonight, backpedaling. Rifkan Badiuddin labels Intel report on his Zaharan India escape links false. Careful celebration. President Gotabaya lauds Sri Lanka's COVID-19 victory but warns of second wave risk due to public negligence. Cleaning house. Prisons Department transfers 19 chief jailers and appoints 6 new faces. The bad and the good. Asian Development Bank forecasts 6.1% GDP contraction for Sri Lanka this year, with 4.1% growth next year, while IMF predicts deeper recession and slower recovery in 2021. All this and much more coming up on this Wednesday, the 24th of June 2020.
Nava sunlight sakura. Then Dikukal pavathina sakura mal suandin.
From AdaDerana. This is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
A very good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Shanella Fernando. In your top stories for tonight, former Minister Rishad Badiuddin's brother Rifkan Badiuddin has written to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter Sunday attacks over recent revelations connecting him to Zaharan Hashim's escape to India by boat. Badiuddin has denied his involvement, which was noted in an intelligence report recently revealed to the Commission by a former intelligence director. Meanwhile, the Commission today was shown previously unreleased CCTV footage showing the movements of Cinnamon Grand bomber Inshaf Ahmed days prior to the fatal attacks.
Former Minister Rishad Badiuddin's brother, Rifkan Badiuddin, has written to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry investigating the Easter Sunday attacks. His letter states that the news report of revelations made at the commission by a former intelligence head of him having provided assistance to Zaharan Hashim in his escape to India are false. He adds that further reports of connections between him and his brother, the former Minister Rishad Badiuddin, having connections to Zaharan Hashim, are untrue and denied having met with the Easter Sunday attack mastermind. In this backdrop, the Commission questioned the unnamed former intelligence official on the allegations yesterday when he was once again summoned to give evidence. At the Commission, the Intel official confirmed that the intelligence report had indeed clearly mentioned Rifkan Badiuddin as having aided Zaharan's flight to India by boat. Following this statement, the Commissioner then heard evidence from Criminal Investigation Department Chief Inspector Y.R. Ravindra Vimalasiri, who headed investigations into Cinnamon Grand bomber Mohammad Ibrahim Inshaf Ahmed. Chief Inspector Vimalasiri told the Commission that the Cinnamon Grand bomber Inshaf Ahmed, the son of spice trader Mohammad Yusuf Ibrahim, had operated a copper manufacturing business named Colossus, which exported its output to India. The witness revealed that the company had been registered with the Industrial Development Board, which came under the purview of former Minister Rishad Badiuddin, and the suspect had met with the minister on several occasions in order to resolve certain issues pertaining to his business. He told the Commission of how Colossus had been provided with special treatment in the order of higher access to scrap raw materials, while other similar manufacturers had only been allowed quotas of only 0.5% through the Industrial Development Board. The Chief Inspector also told the Commission of how Inshaf Ahmed had provided a staggering 45 million rupees from the profits of his copper manufacturing business to the National Tawhid Jamaat organization for its activities. He added that the last deposit to the organization's bank account had been made on the 10th of April 2019, less than 2 weeks before the bombings took place. The Chief Inspector also revealed that a pen drive containing audio files within a folder named My Final Audio was discovered in the possession of Inshaf Ahmed's wife, Fatima Shifka, following her arrest on 25th April 2019. He stated that the folder contained English audio recordings, one of which was a 35-minute and 16-second recording titled English Voice to My Family, and an 18-minute and 34-second recording titled Instructions to My Wife. The following are excerpts of Inshaf Ahmed's audio recording detailing instructions to his wife, Fatima Shifka. Although both my father and I are listed as directors of Colossus Private Limited, we both own no shares of the company. I have had 100% ownership of the company transferred into your name. I have transferred ownership of the Valampiti property to our children. Do not let the contents of this pen drive fall into anyone's hands. Do not let this pen drive fall into the hands of non-Muslims. If that does happen, it could be used as evidence against us and our assets. I propose that you sell the Land Cruiser to a non-Muslim, either a Tamil or a Sinhalese buyer. As I have used this vehicle, CCTV footage may be used in investigations. Do not leave anything incriminating at Flower Road. Get rid of everything, especially Ashkan's gun. I have already purchased air tickets for everyone to leave for Malaysia on Monday. Even though I purchased one for myself, I will not be joining you. If you feel that Malaysia is a good option, then go there with your uncle. If you feel that Sri Lanka is safe, then stay here. However, choose a location where even regular phone calls cannot be made or received. Mobile phones can be used to spy on us. Hence, you must be careful in using them. Try and avoid CCTV cameras as much as possible. In the meantime, CCTV footage of Inshaf Ahmad's movements prior to the attack, which so far had not been made public, was presented to the Commission. The Presidential Commission was shown CCTV footage that shows a white Land Cruiser Jeep carrying Inshaf Ahmad arriving at the Bandar Naika International Airport between 3:30 p.m. and 4 p.m. on the 19th of April 2019. Following her arrest, Fatima Shifka had revealed that her husband had left for Zambia on a business trip on that day and that she had accompanied him to the airport. The CCTV footage at the airport shows the white Land Cruiser arriving at the airport bearing Inshaf Ahmad and his wife along with their 4 children and being driven by her father's driver. The footage shows Inshaf Ahmad disembarking from the vehicle, which then reportedly leaves Somana. However, after the vehicle departs, Inshaf Ahmad is then seen leaving the airport premises and hailing a taxi which takes him to his father's residence in Mahavila Gardens, Dematagoda. After these events, on the 21st of April 2019 at exactly 9:12 a.m., Inshaf Ahmad detonates his explosive device inside the Taprobane restaurant at the Cinnamon Grand Hotel.
Minister of Health Pavitra Vanniyarache stated that health authorities were successful in eradicating community transmissions within the country due to mass PCR tests carried out and the quarantine procedures adhered to. The minister stated this as she announced the milestone of 100,000 PCR tests having been carried out so far. Meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today took to Twitter to announce the country's successful campaign against the virus, but warned the public to stick to precautionary measures to prevent a remission situation.
14 more patients were discharged after full recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries up to 1,562. That brought the number of active cases in the country to 428. In the meantime, recoveries among Navy personnel shot up to 790, with the recovery of 4 more naval personnel today. Meanwhile, during the last cycle, 40 more cases were detected in quarantine centres yesterday, with all of them being foreign arrivals. Among this group were 29 merchant sailors, while the remaining 11 were among recent arrivals from the United States. In another development, 154 Sri Lankans stranded in the United Kingdom were repatriated via a Sri Lankan Airlines charter flight today. As per health and safety guidelines, all arrivals were subjected to PCR tests at the airport. In the meantime, another Sri Lankan Airlines flight brought home a batch of 169 Sri Lankans from Maldives, which landed at the Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport in Hambantota today. Although Sri Lanka has been seeing a large number of infections among foreign arrivals who have been placed in quarantine, no community infections have been reported since the 30th of April.
ඒක හමුදා කඳවුර තුල මේ වන විට කිසිදු කොවිඩ් ආසාදිතයෙක් නොමැති බව තහවුරු කරලා තියෙනවා. අවසාන වශයෙන් අප්‍රේල් 30 තමයි අපේ රට තුලින් පොකුරු ඇතුලේ වාර්තා වුණු රෝගීන් සිටියේ. දැන් පසුගිය සති 7ක් මුළුල්ලේ ඒ කියන්නේ රෝගය ශරීරයට ඇතුළු වෙලා රෝග ලක්ෂණ මතුවෙන්න යන කාලය ඒ වගේ කාල වකවානු 3ක් මේ වන විට පහු කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට අපිට පැහැදිලිව කියන්න පුළුවන් වසංගත තත්වය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම නවත්වලා තියෙන ආකාරයක් තමයි අපි දකින්නේ අපේ රට තුල.
PCR පරීක්ෂණ ලක්ෂයක් මේ රටේ කරන්නට අපිට රටක් විදිහට පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ උපදෙස් සහ මඟ පෙන්වීම යටතේ ලංකාවට හිඟයකින් තොරව PCR පරීක්ෂණ කළා රෝගීන් නිශ්චය කරලා රෝගීන් සමාජයෙන් අයින් කරලා අද COVID-19 රෝගය සමාජය තුලින් සම්පූර්ණයෙන් වගේ අයින් කරන්නට රටක් විදිහට අපට පුළුවන්කම ලැබුණා.
In the meantime, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa took to Twitter to announce the country's victory over the virus, but had words of caution for members of the public. The president tweeted, "While all countries in the world are suffering from the COVID-19 pandemic, our country has achieved a remarkable victory over the attempts of a collective effort, but the COVID-19 virus is yet to be eradicated. Negligence could spread the virus again. Therefore, I call upon all Sri Lankans to take further measures on health and government directives.
In the meantime, the World Bank Board of Executive Directors has recently approved additional financing for Sri Lanka's COVID-19 emergency response and health system preparedness project. The project will receive an International Development Association credit of $87.24 million and an additional pandemic emergency financing facility of $1.72 million. The credit facility has a maturity of 30 years and a grace period of 5 years. The project will help boost Sri Lanka's capacity to prevent, detect and respond to the threat posed by COVID-19 and strengthen national systems for public health preparedness in the country. The additional financing will finance temporary cash transfers to high-risk populations to enable them to stay at home as a preventive measure against the spread of the virus. Additionally, grant financing under a pandemic emergency financing facility will further strengthen ongoing health system preparedness efforts, especially with the reopening of Sri Lanka's economy. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa recalled memories of the past today, targeting the opposition camp, saying that those who raised their voices over Karuna Amman's recent statement have forgotten that it was the father of Sajith Premadasa who provided arms to the LTTE to kill government soldiers. The Premier's remarks came when he addressed a public gathering held in Kuliapitiya yesterday. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa attended a public gathering organised at Labuyaya in Kuliapitiya yesterday.
අද ජනාධිපතිවරයෙක් පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් දැන් ජනාධිපතිවරයාට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව මේ නීති රීති සකස් කරලා එතුමාට කරන වැඩ කොටස ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් කණ්ඩායමක්. ඒක UNP ප්‍රේමදාසට කරන්න බෑ ගිහිල්ලා. ඕනෑම දේශපාලන පක්ෂයක් වේවා ඕනෑම දෙයක් කැඩුනොත් ආයිත් ඒක රිපෙයාර් කිල්ලක් නැහැ. ඒක ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්තයත් එක්ක රිපෙයාර් කරන්නත් බෑ. පරාජයේදී හරියාකාර මූණ දෙන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැතුව හැංගිලා හිටියා. එතුමා කිව්වා මේ මම පොතක් ලියනවා කියලා කොටි ගැන. ඉතින් ඒකට කාලය ගත කරනවා කිව්වා. මම ඉතින් අපේ ජනාධිපතිතුමාට කතා කරලා කියලා තිබුණා අඬ. එතුමා ගල්වා අඬන්න නැතුව ගිහලා තරඟ කරනවා ඉසි කියලා. දේශපාලනය කරනවා කියලා. මම හිතන්නේ එතුමා කාඩිනල් කෙනෙක් වශයෙන් ලෝකේ බොහොම සුළු ප්‍රමාණයක් ඉන්නේ මුළු ලෝකෙම. ඉතින් එතුමාට අපහාස කරයින් පස්සේ ඒකට සමාව ඉල්ලලා තිබුණේ එහෙම යමක් වුණා නම් ඉතින් ඒක කියන්නේ ඒක උනේ නෑ කියන එයාත් ඉන්නේ මතේ ප්‍රේමදාසත් ඉන්නේ මතේ කරුණා කතාවක් කරපු එකක් ගැන ඒක වරාතා උනේ වැරදි විදිහට තමයි කියලා කරුණා කියන්නේ ආයුධ දුන්නේ කවුද කරුණාට හා අනිත් අයට LTTට ආයුධ දුන්නේ කවුද තමුනාන්සලාට මතකද සජිත් මහත්තයාගේ තාත්තා වෙන කාරුවක් නෙමෙයි ඉතින් ආයුධ දුන්නේ කාරු මරන්නද සිංහල ජනතාව මරන්න හමුදාවට වෙඩි තියන්න ඒ වෙඩි තියන්න ආයුධ දුන්නු උදවියගේ දරුවෝ තමයි දැන් කෑ ගහන්නේ බොරුවට කරුණම්මා කියේ.
Attorney General Dappula D. Livera has decided to file indictments against former Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka and former Valikada Police OIC Sudat Asmaralla over the 2016 near-fatal hit-and-run incident in Rajagiriya. Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Peiris conveyed the Attorney General's decision to Colombo Additional Magistrate Kanchana Niranjana de Silva when the case was taken up for hearing today. The hit-and-run case that occurred in Rajagiriya in 2016 involving former Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka was taken up for hearing before the Colombo Additional Magistrate Kanchana Niranjana de Silva today. Presenting the submissions in the court, officers of the Colombo Crimes Division stated that investigations into the incident have been concluded. The CCD officers added that the investigation reports have been directed to the Attorney General's Department for advice on how to proceed. Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Peiris, appearing on behalf of the Attorney General, said in court that action will be taken to file indictments against former Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka and former OIC of Valikada Police Sudat Asmaralla, who are named as suspects in this case. The additional magistrate subsequently ordered the Deputy Solicitor General to inform court of the progress of the investigations when the case is taken up again on the 2nd of September. More news on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
කොරෝනා වෛරසය පැතිරීම වළක්වන්න සබන් යොදා දෑත් සෝදන්න.
Following public outcry over allegations made by former Minister of Sports Mahindananda Alutgamage alleging that the 2011 World Cup final was fixed in India's favour, the Special Investigation Unit recorded his statement today. The former minister told media following the statement that his allegations stemmed from a letter in his possession from the ICC that alleges that Sri Lanka remains at the top for the highest number of accusations, inquiries and match-fixing allegations among test-playing nations.
The Special Investigation Unit of the Sports Ministry commenced an investigation on the directives of the Minister of Sports, Dallas Ala Peruma, following accusations made by former Minister of Sports Mahindananda Alutgamage of match-fixing during the final of the 2011 Cricket World Cup. As per the Prevention of Offences Relating to Sports Act No. 24 of 2019, a special police unit led by a Senior Superintendent of Police recorded a statement this morning from the former Minister of Sports at his office in Naulapitia. Following the recording of the statement, the former minister addressed the media at his office.
මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් මට ලැබුණු සහ මා සතුව තිබූ තොරතුරු සියල්ල අද මම පොලිස් විමර්ශන ඒකකයට ලබා දුන්නා. මේ ප්‍රකාශය මෑත කාලේ සිද්ධ කිරීමට මූලික හේතුව තමයි මගේ ළඟ තියෙනවා ජාත්‍යන්තර ක්‍රිකට් කවුන්සිලය විසින් හිටපු ක්‍රීඩා අමාත්‍ය හරේන් ප්‍රනාන්දු මහතාට 23 දෙසැම්බර් 2018 එවන ලද ලිපිය මේකේ තියෙනවා අපට පේනවා strictly private and confidential. නමුත් මට මම මේ උත්තර දෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා නැත්නම් මේකේ මම වැරදිකාරයෙක් වෙන නිසා. මේ ලිපිය ICC එකෙන් එවන්නේ ICC එකේ ඇන්ටි කරප්ෂන් එකේ ප්‍රධානියා හැටියට ඉන්න ඇලෙක්ස් මාෂල් මේ පැමිණිල්ල කරන්නේ ක්‍රීඩා අමාත්‍යවරයාට. මෙතුමා කියනවා ලෝකේ ටෙස්ට් ක්‍රීඩා තරග කරන රටවල් අතර වැඩිම පැමිණිලි චෝදනා තරගපාදීන් සම්බන්ධයෙන් තියෙන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට. මේ පිළිබඳ දැනට පරීක්ෂණ පවත්වාගෙන යනවා. මේ පිළිබඳ එතුමා දීර්ඝ ලිපියක් එවනවා. මම කරුණු කාරණා 24ක් සඳහන් කරලා තියෙනවා. මේ තරගාවලිය පරාජය වෙන්න සැක සහිත හේතු වන කාරණා 24ක්. මම ක්‍රීඩකයෝ මේකට සම්බන්ධ නැහැ කියලා පැහැදිලි කරලා තිබෙද්දිත් ඇතම් ක්‍රීඩකයන් මේ පිළිබඳව මත ප්‍රකාශ කළා තිබ්බා. මේ සියලු පාර්ශවයන් මේකට සහාය පළ කරන්න. මේක දේශපාලනය කරන්න එපා. මේක මැතිවරණයට ඉලක්ක කරගන්න එපා.
මම කියනවා තරඟ පාවාදීම සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. පාවා දුන්නේ මොන දේවල් අරබයාද?
මම කියන්නේ තරඟ පාවාදීමක් සිදු වුණාදයි සැකයක් අපිට තියෙනවා කියන එකයි. මේ ගැන හොයා බලන්නයි කියලා මම කියන්නේ. අපි ජනාධිපතිතුමාගෙන් ඒ වගේම ගරු ක්‍රීඩා අමාත්‍යතුමාගෙන් ඉල්ලීමක් කරන්නේ මාස 3ක් ඇතුළත මේ පරීක්ෂණය දාලා අපට වාර්තාවක් ලබා දෙන්න කියන එක.
In the meantime, Sports Ministry Secretary KDS Ruwan Chandra stated that a report will be prepared by the investigation unit based on the information received from the former minister and will be presented to the Attorney General. He also added that legal action will be initiated as per the directives of the Attorney General.
මට පෞද්ගලිකව එවැනි තරඟ පාවාදීමක් 2011 සිදු වුණා කියලා කිසිදු සාක්ෂියක් නැහැ. එක දෙක මම ක්‍රීඩා අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ලේකම්තුමාගෙන් සහ ක්‍රිකට් පාලක මණ්ඩලයෙන් ඇහුවා ඔවුන් සන්තකේ එවැනි තොරතුරක් තියෙනවද එවැනි පරීක්ෂාවක් ආරම්භ කරලා තියෙනවද ඒ දෙපාර්ශ්වයෙන් මට උත්තර දුන්නේ එවැනි දෙයක් නැහැ කියලා. තුන මම ඇහුවා ICC එකෙන් ජාත්‍යන්තර ක්‍රිකට් කවුන්සිලයෙන් එවැනි යම් පරීක්ෂාවක් ආරම්භ කරලා තියෙනවද කියලා. ඒකත් නැහැ. නමුත් මෙම ප්‍රශ්නය සමාජගත කරේ මගේ හිතමිත් මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ ඇමතුමා එවකට ක්‍රීඩා ඇමතුමා සංඝකාර මගේ ලෝකේ වගේම ජාත්‍යන්තර ක්‍රිකට් පිටියේ ලෙජන්ඩ් කෙනෙක්. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අපි පූර්ව විශ්වාසයක් තියෙනවා එම් දෙයක් උනේ නැහැ කියලා. නමුත් මේ චෝදනාව බරපතල චෝදනාවක්. තුමා සන්තකයේ සමහර තොරතුරු ඇති. ඒ නිසා ඒක විභාග කරන එක ඇමතිවරයා විදියට අපේ යුතුයකමක් වගකීමක්.
United National Party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the youth are now in favour of rejecting the country's old guard of politicians in favour of a new and dynamic political system. The former Prime Minister made these comments when he addressed UNP youth activists at the party headquarters Sirikota today.
තරුණයන්ට අලුත් මූණු වමනා වුණා. පරණ දේශපාලනයේ ක්‍රියාකලාප එපා වුණා. ඒ නිසා එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ ලයිස්තුවේ බහුතරයක් අලුත් අපේක්ෂකයන් ඉන්නේ. මේ දේශපාලනයේ ජීවිතයෙන් ඉවත් වුණ දේශපාලනයෙන් ඈත් වෙන තරුණයන් ඇතුල් කර ගැනීම අපේ ප්‍රධාන යුතුයකම. ඒ ජනාධිපතිවරණයෙන් පසුව අපි විග්‍රහ කරමු තේරුණේ පරණ දේශපාලඥයන්ට තරුණයන් කැමති නැහැ. ඒ අය සංවර්ධනය පමණක් නෙමෙයි අලුත් මත අලුත් අදහස් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න ඕමනා වුණා. අපි ගත්ත ක්‍රියා මාර්ගවලින් අපි විශේෂයෙන්ම පාර්ලිමේන්තුව රූපවාහිනිය තුලින් රටට පෙන්වන්නට ගත්ත පියවර වලින් ඒ හැසිරීම ගැන පෑයීමකට පත් උනේ නැහැ. මෙතනින් අපි නවතින්නේ නැහැ. මේ පක්ෂයට දැන් ඒ තරුණ හදවත් එකතු වෙලා තරුණ නායකයෙක් එකතු වෙලා මේ පක්ෂේ අලුත් කරන්ට තිබෙනවා. අපි මේ පක්ෂයේ මේ අලුත් පරපුරට හදනවා වාගේ මේ රටත් අලුත් පරපුරට හදමු කියලා මම ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. ඒකයි අපේ ගමන. ඒ නිසා ඔබ ඉදිරියට එන්න. පසුපෙළේ ඉන්න එපා. ඒ වගකීම් බාර ගන්න. ඒ වගකීම් අපි බාර දෙනවා. ඒ වගකීම් බාර දෙන්න ඡන්දකර නෙමෙයි. පක්ෂයත් සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම අලුතෙන් හදන්න. මොකද රටේ අලුත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් එකම පක්ෂේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයයි.
The Election Commission has announced the setting up of a system through which members of the public will be able to submit complaints regarding any election violations by either parties or specific candidates in the run-up to the parliamentary election as well as during the conducting of the polls.
As preparations for the parliamentary elections continue, the Election Commission has announced the establishment of a National Election Complaint Centre to record public complaints during the polls. A full list of district-level telephone and fax numbers has been released, through which public complaints can be made on any election violations witnessed by members of the public. The National Election Commission says that the panel will receive complaints on election-related party activities, groups or candidates, or any action causing hindrance to the conduct of free and fair elections during the election period. In addition, complaints regarding violations of election laws can be submitted via telephone, fax, Viber, WhatsApp, or to an email address or the Facebook page of the National Election Complaint Centre.
The Commissioner General of Prisons, Tushar Puldenius, said that 19 chief jailers of prisons in Sri Lanka have been transferred with immediate effect. He said that the transferred prison officials include the chief jailer of the Negombo prison, who has been removed from his position and transferred to the Dumbura prison. The Negombo prison was in the spotlight recently after a drug racket operating from the prisons was uncovered. The Commissioner General of Prisons added that 6 new chief jailers have also been appointed to the prisons. Furthermore, he said that a prison guard at the Boosa prison who had been caught while attempting to smuggle 7 grams of heroin for an inmate of the prison has been interdicted and is currently under investigation. In business news, the Asian Development Bank has forecast Sri Lanka's gross domestic product to contract 6.1% this year but recover 4.1% next year. The contraction has been attributed to stringent domestic lockdown measures and the global spillover from COVID-19, which pummeled economic activity in the second quarter of the year.
Sri Lanka's gross domestic product growth is forecast to contract 6.1% this year and grow 4.1% in 2021, the ADB said in a supplement to its Asian Development Outlook. Countries in developing Asia will barely grow in 2020, the ADB forecast said. According to the ADB report, Afghanistan, Maldives and Sri Lanka will bear the full impact of COVID-19 in the 2020 calendar year, with their economies expected to contract significantly. Sri Lanka's forecast for 2020 is downgraded to contract by 6.1% with stringent domestic lockdown measures and the global spillover from COVID-19 assumed to have pummeled economic activity in the second quarter, the ADB stated. If the pandemic dissipates in 2021, these three economies are set to rebound to growth by 3% in Afghanistan, 13.7% in Maldives and 4.1% in Sri Lanka, it added. However, Maldives' recovery is expected to be particularly strong as its high-end tourist clientele have been less affected by the pandemic. The International Monetary Fund says that with the COVID-19 pandemic having pushed economies into a great lockdown, which helped contain the virus and save lives, it has also triggered the worst recession since the Great Depression. The IMF adds that with over 75% of countries now reopening as the pandemic intensifies in many emerging markets and developing economies in the absence of a medical solution, the strength of recovery is highly uncertain and the impact uneven. It warns that the cumulative output loss to the world economy is across 2020 from the pandemic crisis will be over $12 trillion US. Further, the IMF adds that the unprecedented global sweep of the crisis hampers recovery prospects for export-dependent economies and jeopardizes the prospects for income convergence between developing and advanced economies. It is also projecting a synchronized deep downturn in 2020 for both advanced economies and emerging markets and developing economies, and over 95% of countries are projected to have negative per capita income growth in 2020.
Stocks closed 0.57% higher today, pushed by John Keel's holdings and banking stocks. The old share price index advanced 28.87 points to close at 5,101.94. The S&P SL20 index of more liquid stocks climbed 0.79% or 17.88 points up at 2,275.45. Market turnover amounted to 1.78 billion rupees today, while 87 stocks gained, while 67 fell. Here's a brief report on today's market performance.
The stock market ended on a positive territory for the 7th consecutive session, with the banking counters contributed of 46% of the turnover. And market was uplifted primarily due to the price advance in John Keel's and Ceylon cold stores. And market recorded a spike within the first few minutes of the trading and reached an intraday high of 5,127, and thereafter experienced a downtrend movement and hit the intraday low of 5,087. And later on, market recovered, experienced a volatile sideways movement during the midday, and within the last 30 minutes, trading of the market witnessed a continuous uptrend and closed at 5,111, gaining 29 points. And parcel trade boosted the turnover by the 22%, and market witnessed a foreign outflow with a low foreign participation.
The Sri Lankan rupee closed lower at 186 rupees and 62.70 cents to the US dollar in the spot market today, while bond yields eased. In comparison, the rupee ended at 186 rupees and 55 to 65 cents to the greenback yesterday. Now let's have a look at how the rupee traded against other major currencies during the day. We'll return after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. In sports news, the Bangladesh cricket team's tour of Sri Lanka, which was scheduled for next month, has been postponed, citing lack of preparation caused by the pandemic. Bangladesh was scheduled to play 3 tests in July, but with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, BCB has informed Sri Lanka cricket that a conducive environment has still not arrived for their players to take part in an international cricket series. BCB and the SLC have decided to postpone the tour to a mutually planned later date. Earlier this week, Bangladesh's former ODI captain Mashrafi Murtaza and former opener Nafiz Iqbal tested positive for COVID-19. And that's a wrap from here at First at 9. Thank you for joining. I'm Shanella Fernando. Good night.